Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is a beautiful day, but we've got a massive, crazy rumor to unpack about the bold and the beautiful. Grab a snack, because this gets intense and we have a lot of ground to cover. So we need to talk about this wild theory floating around. And honestly, it's so crazy it just might be true. You guys know how this show works. One minute it's all about fashion designs and the next minute someone is going to jail. But this time it involves Will Spencer, Eric Forrester, and Katie Logan making the ultimate sacrifice. Let's break down this whole speculation about Will attacking Eric and Katie giving up her entire company to save him. Okay, let's start at the beginning of this whole mess. Elektra. We all know her family has been screaming at her to stay away from Will. Ivy has been scheming. Steffy is probably ready to fire people. It's a total disaster. But what does Elektra do? She meets Will at the bikini bar. Of course she does. Because nobody on this show ever actually listens to their family. They always have to go to the most public place possible to have a secret meeting. Bikini bar. Really? But okay, she meets him there. And you have to wonder what is going through her head. She is so torn between Will and Jay right now. She is confused. And Will is he's a Spencer. He has that Spencer arrogance. He thinks he can just smooth things over. But then things go completely off the rails. Because guess who shows up at the bikini bar? Eric and Jay. Yeah, Eric Forrester and Jay Forrester. Just walking in and interrupting this little forbidden rendezvous. And Jay is already so mad at Will. We know they have this massive rivalry going on right now. Jay has been kissing Elektra's hands, trying to woo her, channeling his inner Massimo Marone. So seeing Will with Elektra is just going to set Jay off. But it's Eric who steps up. Eric actually tries to stop Will from leaving with Elektra. He tells Will she isn't going anywhere with him. And this is where Will makes a massive, massive mistake. He looks at the patriarch of the Forrester family, the man who built the entire empire, and says, "What the hell is it to you, old man? I'll do what I want, old man." He called Eric Forrester an old man. What were they thinking? Who actually believes this is going to end well? You don't just talk to Eric like that. Especially not in front of Jay. So Jay snaps. He jumps in to defend his grandfather. Because of course he does. Jay is so protective, and he already hates Will. The two of them start brawling. A full-on physical scuffle. We heard about them fighting at Forrester Creations a few episodes ago, but this is a whole different level. This is in public. At the bikini bar, and they are just going at it. Throwing punches, knocking over tables, whatever. It's messy. It's really messy. But then it gets worse. Because Eric, being Eric, tries to break it up. He steps right into the middle of these two angry young guys to stop the fight. And bam. Will accidentally punches Eric. Let that sink in. Will Spencer punches Eric Forrester. Just imagine the look on everyone's faces. The music stops. The whole bar just goes completely silent. Eric is older. He has health issues. You can't just punch him. Even if it was an accident, it doesn't matter. Will hit Eric. The optics are terrible. It's a Spencer assaulting a Forrester. It's the worst possible thing that could happen. And what happens next? The police. Will would absolutely get arrested for this. Assault on an elderly man. Assault on Eric Forrester. The cops are going to haul Will right off to jail. And Will is going to be sitting in a cell, panicking, realizing his life is over. Because the Forresters are not going to let this go. Steffy will demand they throw the book at him. Ridge will want him locked up forever. Ridge is already stressed out with Brooke trying to take Steffy's co-CEO job, so he is going to take all his anger out on Will. So Will is in jail. And who gets the phone call? Katie. Katie Logan Spencer, the mama bear, and she is going to absolutely lose her mind. Katie has been working so hard lately. She just launched her new fashion house, Logan. She's been fighting with Brooke. She's been trying to poach Hope away from Forrester Creations. Donna even warned her last week that she was going to start a massive family feud. Katie was on top of the world, ready to take on Forrester Creations. But now her son is in a jail cell because he punched Eric Forrester. Katie knows she has to do something. She knows the Forresters have all the power here. If Eric presses charges, Will's life is ruined. He's a Spencer, sure, Bill has money, but you can't just buy your way out of assaulting Eric Forrester on camera at the bikini bar. So Katie gets desperate. Really, really desperate. She realizes there is only one thing she can do. She has to make a deal. A plea deal, but not with the cops. With the Forresters. She goes straight to Forrester Creations. Probably walks right into the CEO office where Ridge and Steffy and Eric are all standing around being angry. And she makes the ultimate sacrifice. She offers them Logan, yes, her entirely new company, the company she built to rival them, the company she was going to use to steal Hope. Katie says she will hand over full control and ownership of Logan to Forrester Creations. She will give them everything, but in exchange, they have to drop the charges against Will. They have to let her son go free. Wow. Just wow. Let's just stop and think about this for a second. Would Katie really do that? Would she give up her dream, her business, everything she just fought Brooke over, just to keep Will out of jail? Honestly, yes. Yes, she would. Katie loves Will more than anything. He is her whole world. Business is business, she told Donna that herself. But family is family. And Katie would burn down the entire fashion industry if it meant saving her son. But let's look at the other side. Would the Forresters accept this deal? Maybe I'm being too harsh on Eric, but Eric is usually a forgiving guy. He knows it was an accident. He knows Will didn't mean to hit him. Eric probably doesn't even want Will to go to prison. But Steffy? Steffy would love this deal. Steffy hates the Logans. Steffy would love to crush Katie's new company before it even gets off the ground. And Ridge would see this as a way to eliminate a competitor and keep Hope at Forrester Creations. Because if Logan belongs to Forrester, then Katie can't poach Hope anymore. It solves all their problems. And think about Brooke. Oh my God, Brooke. Brooke is already playing a very dangerous game. She made that seductive offer to Ridge to replace Steffy as co-CEO. Ridge is uncomfortable, but he is weak when it comes to Brooke. He said he would consider it. But if Katie walks in and hands over Logan, it completely changes the power dynamic. Suddenly, Forrester Creations is a massive monopoly again. They absorb their biggest new threat. Ridge looks like a genius. But where does that leave Brooke? Does she still get the co-CEO spot? Or does Ridge say, hey, we don't need you to step up anymore. We just acquired Logan. Everything is fine. Brooke might actually try to stop Katie from making the deal. Brooke might say, Katie, don't do this. Will can get a good lawyer. Don't give them your company. Because Brooke knows that if Katie gives up Logan, Katie is going to be a loose cannon. A bored, angry Katie is a dangerous Katie. Let's talk about Ivy for a second. Because none of this, literally none of this, would be happening if it wasn't for Ivy Forrester. She is the root cause of all this misery. She intercepted that letter. She manipulated Electra. She teamed up with Daphne to hide the truth, well, until Daphne and Dylan finally blew the whistle. If Ivy had just minded her own business, Will and Electra would still be happily together. They wouldn't be sneaking around the bikini bar. Will wouldn't be angry. Jay wouldn't be trying to swoop in. Ivy created this entire powder keg, and now her own niece is the one caught in the explosion. Steffy is already thinking about firing Ivy because Electra threatened to quit. But if this bikini bar fight happens, if Eric gets punched because of a rivalry that Ivy orchestrated, oh man, Steffy won't just fire Ivy. She will banish her from Los Angeles entirely. And what about Dylan? Poor, sweet Dylan. She just moved out of Will's beach house. She gave up her own happiness, gave up her connection with Will, just to let him fix things with Electra. She told him to go repair the damage. She was so noble. And how does Will repay her? By going to a bar, getting into a fist fight, and assaulting a senior citizen. Dylan is going to be so disappointed. She is a former school teacher, for crying out loud. She doesn't have time for this juvenile, violent behavior. She might actually end up bonding with Jay over this. I know Jay is involved in the fight, but Jay was defending his grandfather. Dylan might respect that. Or maybe she just washes her hands of all these crazy rich kids and goes to hang out with Deke at Il Giardino. And what about Liam? Liam has been pushing Hope to go work for Katie. If Katie loses the company, Liam is going to look like an idiot. Again, which, let's be honest, is pretty normal for Liam. He's always wrong about these things. He told Hope to jump ship, and Hope said no. She wants to stay and fight for Hope for the future. Hope actually looks really smart here if Katie's company goes under. I just can't stop thinking about that punch, though. The visual of Will hitting Eric. The shock. Jay's face. Electra screaming. It would be such a Good Friday cliffhanger. You guys know what I mean. The camera zooms in on Eric's shocked face, then Will's horrified face, and then the screen goes black. Boom. See you on Monday. But I have to ask, is Will really worth it? Okay, he's her son. Obviously, he's worth it to her. But as a viewer, Will has been kind of annoying lately. He's so easily manipulated. He didn't even realize Ivy was playing him. He let Electra walk all over him. And now he's throwing tantrums at the bikini bar? Maybe a few nights in a jail cell would actually do him some good. Teach him some humility. Teach him that he can't just throw his Spencer weight around and expect everyone to bow down. Bill Spencer has bailed his kids out of trouble so many times. Maybe Katie should just call Bill and let him handle it. Why does Katie have to sacrifice her company? Where is Dollar Bill in all of this? He could probably just buy the police station and make the charges disappear. But no, that would be too easy. The writers need the angst. They need the corporate shuffling. They need Hope to be stuck at Forrester with no escape route. Because if Logan doesn't exist anymore, Hope's only option is to stay at Forrester and deal with Steffy. It traps Hope. It traps Katie. It gives the Forresters all the power. So yeah, I am officially boarding this rumor train. I think this is exactly what is going to happen. The scuffle between Jay, and Will is going to escalate. Eric is going to get caught in the crossfire. Will is going to face the music, and Katie is going to pay the ultimate price to save him. It's going to be a messy, clunky, emotional roller coaster, and I am here for it. All right, I need to wrap this up before I start ranting about Sheila Carter and Taylor again, because that is a whole other mess that I don't even have the energy for today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Am I crazy? Is this rumor totally fake? Or are we about to see the fall of the Logan fashion house before it even truly begins? Stay tuned, guys. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
What do you guys think about today's drama? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for your daily dose of bold and beautiful news. See you in the next video.